We wake up pretty early. I'm usually out of bed by about 2:15 every morning, but that's just part of the job, you know. In your news this morning, we've learned a satellite launch from NASA. I am the weekday morning anchor here at KMU8 News in Columbia, Missouri. I anchor 5 days a week for 2.5 hours every morning. I also have the privilege of teaching 2 courses at the University of Missouri. I surprise a lot of people when I say that I'm an anchor and I read a lot of words, but I'm also responsible for writing a lot of it. I think in order to be a better speaker, you have to be a better writer. The interests that I have today were really first kindled at my time at KDS. I remember learning about history and, you know, whether it's American history or ancient history. I remember I was fascinated by the ancient Egyptians. I think in 6th grade we had a unit about ancient Egypt, and I thought that was so cool. And to this day I'm still a huge history buff, which is part of the reason I went into journalism, because they say journalism is often the first draft of history. I remember in Mrs. Anderson's class we had one year where we did a Shakespeare unit, and it was a project where we had to memorize, each one of us, a small little portion of Shakespeare's plays. Mrs. Anderson she was really supportive, you know, she gave me this big round of applause. She said, "I hope to see an invitation, you know, to when you're in a Shakespeare play in the future." And I thought that was so cool as a kid. And though that was really the first time I exercised an ability that would later literally become my career, it was a very important moment, because I know if I hadn't received encouragement in that moment, I never would have been inspired to develop that interest, and things would have worked out really differently for me. If you're ahead of the curve on something in elementary school and you keep learning at that rate, you're going to be exponentially ahead of the curve later on when you're, you know, looking at high schools, when you're looking at colleges.
I'm Landon Burke, and I went to Kirk Day School.